Alright, I'm going to do what I call a stop me when I'm wrong video. So basically, I want you to comment at the very second that I'm wrong about facts about Congress. I'm going to start right now. Congress was established back in the day because there was no real way for the American people to get their voice up to Washington because they didn't have telephones, they didn't have, all the technology we have these days, like the internet and computers and all that. So basically, they would hire somebody to listen to the people, stroll their ass up to Congress on a horse or a buggy or whatever they got, and take the voices of the people of their district and let those voices be heard in Congress, by shouting down, arguing, hey, no, my people over here say that they don't want this. Other people are like, oh, my people do. That's what they're there for, is, our representatives are there to take our voice up to Washington so that we can be heard. And these days, Congress still does that. They listen to the people and they take our word up to Congress, and they do a very good job of listening to their constituents and making sure that Washington is working for the people. Now, I'm going to stop the video or stop talking about Congress right now because you should have stopped me somewhere back there already. So, now that we do have all this technology, like the internet, why can't we get together a website that's kind of like the DMV, where you can go in and register your car online? Well, why don't we have a website where if you're a registered voter, you log into your district with your voter number, your last four of your social, your secret identity word, password, your email, and you vote online just on some of the issues that are just in your district. And then when you hit update, it sends that information to your representative so that he can then take some of that information and go to Congress with it and go up to Washington, D.C. with your information. All of his constituents. Man, why talk to these people when they can just log in and tell you what they think, And you can then take their word up to Washington and either abuse it like you're doing now, or you can actually have a piece of paper here that says, 65% of my constituents say that this, so, I'm going to have to vote that way because this is the way that they want, Why not just have a little website for the voters, for the people, to allow the people to get their word to their representatives without being, what happens when you call your representative or you send them an email? Do you ever know if you get anything back? Do you get anything back? Do you get a reply? Auto reply from some computer somewhere or what? Let's get that website into play, and that way, it'll be documented what the voters want. And I'm not saying that has to be what the guy takes to Congress and votes for, but he can at least take into consideration what they really think. Because, when you hear Robert Gibbs trying to play down these town hall meetings and say, well, we don't think that that's indicative of what the American people really want. Well, bullshit, dude. We got the freaking data right here off of, publicregistrarvoters.com or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's right here, Robert Gibbs. This is the information that's documented right here. All the voters that logged in and gave up their information and voted for their little, issues in their little town. They want this. And put in the big-ass health care bill in there, and let's see what Americans really think about it. All registered voters. Let's see what the numbers are so that we can then take those numbers and then really use them. If the numbers really are something like 83% of Americans think that health care is going to cost more if this passes, then how can they, if that's documented in their hands, how can they pass this? Or how can they even think about passing it? Let's get that website up, man. I mean, how much would it cost the government to run that? I mean, the DMV does it. You know, how much does it cost to run a website where you can register your car? And how much does that save the DMV in money? I don't think it can save the government any money, but it sure as hell can get the people's voices heard.